So there will be some spoiler talk for the new Mortal Kombat movie in this video, so proceed with caution. But in general, this video is going to be about why video game movies just don't seem to work. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Get over here!
When I say that Mortal Kombat 1995 is still the best video game movie ever made, there's very big reasons for that. It simultaneously captured the essence of the game, while also adding a cinematic flair to the story that made it translate well to the big screen. And that's really all you have to do in order to translate a video game into a movie. Mortal Kombat at its core is about realms trying to take over other realms, and there's a tournament to decide whether or not that's possible or not. And guess what? All of that is in Mortal Kombat 1995.
I like it a lot.
They also managed to capture the look and feel of the game, as well as taking the characters and giving them some cinematic appeal as well. Unfortunately, I felt like Mortal Kombat 2021 didn't do any of these things. In fact, I felt like it deviated so much from the source material that it didn't really feel like Mortal Kombat at all. And I feel like that's the biggest problem that a lot of video game movies have. I'm all for new interpretations of characters and stories, but you can't disregard the lore completely in the process. And of course, the things that you make up still have to make sense.
That makes sense.
Mortal Kombat has never been about dragon tattoos or finding some hidden power inside of you. Mortal Kombat has never been about some random dude named Cole who brings absolutely nothing to the table. Don't get me wrong, blood and gore can be great, but it can't be used as a crutch to disguise the fact that you have no story in your movie. We get to see iconic characters for sure, but let's be honest, outside of maybe Sub-Zero and possibly Scorpion, were any of them memorable? Did this new interpretation add anything to all those characters' lore? Goro has been demoted basically to a henchman. He's no longer a Mortal Kombat champion. Kung Lao and Liu Kang, neither one of them feel special. They just feel like two random guys who got lucky because they got their tattoos.
You about to cross some fucking lines.
Guys!
Nothing about this movie felt organic or interesting. It was all very monotone and boring. And to me, Mortal Kombat is anything but monotone and boring. Extending this to other video game movies, let's look at Sonic for a moment. A movie that people seem to, in general, like. I thought it was just fine because outside of the characters of Sonic and Robotnik, nothing about this movie reminded me of playing the Sonic the Hedgehog games. I mean, there is the final moments where you see Green Hill Zone and you see Tails, but that's about it. The rest of the movie was basically the cinematic equivalent of those shitty Garfield movies.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria!
The Resident Evil movie franchise started out okay. I mean, the first movie was basically a story that could have run parallel with the stories that were being told in the games, but each time they made a new movie, it felt less and less like Resident Evil until it wasn't anymore. Doom is probably the biggest example. Why can't they adapt Doom? It's Space Marines on Mars battling demons that entered through a portal to hell. It should be the easiest thing in the world to translate into a movie. Instead, Hollywood fucked it up. Twice.
Fuck me, right?
The point is that when you deviate from the source material so much, that connection to the game is permanently severed. It's almost like Hollywood doesn't trust video game stories to translate to live action. If that's the case, then maybe you shouldn't be making these movies. Ironically, I've seen stories in video games that are infinitely better than anything Hollywood has given us in the past few years. If these Hollywood executives could just learn to trust these stories and trust the fans who have shown so much support to these games, then they would instantly have a goldmine of material to adapt in future movies. Unfortunately, they're probably just going to keep pumping out the same shit, and people are just going to keep accepting it because of name recognition. Don't just assume that whatever you're getting is the best they can do. If you demand better of Hollywood, they will have to deliver at some point. The sooner that people stop being okay with mediocrity, the better. Why do you think video game movies hardly ever work? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.